My routine is the path that helps me walk forward. There is something quietly powerful about routine. It may seem simple on the surface, just a repeated pattern of daily tasks, but in reality, it's the invisible structure that holds my life together. My routine is more than just a schedule. It is the path that helps me walk forward, guiding me through challenges, helping me stay balanced, and making sure I keep moving even when things feel difficult. Each day begins with a small decision to rise. That decision alone already sets the tone for my journey. When I wake up at the same time every morning, I am choosing to begin again, with purpose. My morning routine, getting out of bed, brushing my teeth, stretching for a few minutes, and making my bed, might seem ordinary to others. But for me, it is the first step on a path that reminds me I'm in control of my direction. That simple act of making my bed tells me I've already accomplished something today. After that, I nourish my body with breakfast. It's not just about food. It's a moment of self-care. Sometimes it's toast and eggs, other times it's oatmeal or fruit, but it always includes a few minutes of calm. I sit quietly, letting my thoughts settle. This time in the morning is like the starting line. It's where I take a deep breath before beginning the race of the day. Then I move into my work or studies. This is where discipline truly matters. I break my day into manageable parts, focused work, short breaks, and clear goals. Without this routine, I would feel scattered or overwhelmed. But with it, I feel grounded. Whether I'm reading, writing, answering emails, or tackling big projects, I know that each task is a stepping stone forward. Routine helps me stay focused. It tells me what's next, so I don't get lost in stress or distractions. It acts like a map, guiding me through my priorities. Of course, every day brings unexpected events. Sometimes I get a phone call that changes my plans or a sudden headache forces me to rest. But because I have a routine, I know how to return to the path. I don't fall into chaos, I simply pause and then step forward again. Midday is another important moment. I take time for lunch, usually something light but nourishing. I use this time to reset. I don't eat while working. I stop, sit down, and give myself a break. This routine of resting in the middle of the day recharges me. It reminds me to listen to my body and mind. In the afternoon, I continue with my planned tasks. If I've scheduled a meeting, I join it. If I've planned to study or write, I focus on that. I avoid multitasking as much as possible because I've learned that doing one thing at a time helps me do it better. This part of my routine teaches me patience and presence. Around late afternoon, I take a short walk or do some light exercise. This is a key part of my routine. Movement clears my mind and helps me shake off stress. While walking, I often reflect on how far I've come. I think about what I've done today, what I could do better, and what I'm grateful for. These reflections help me stay emotionally balanced and give me motivation to keep going. As evening approaches, I slowly wind down. I prepare dinner, often taking time to cook something simple yet comforting. I eat without rushing, maybe with some music or a light conversation. After dinner, I take care of small chores, tidying up, preparing things for tomorrow, or checking in with loved ones. Then, I give myself space to relax. Sometimes I read a book. Sometimes I watch something lighthearted. Sometimes I simply sit in silence. But whatever I choose, I make sure it's part of my routine to relax before bed. This is when I let go of the pressures of the day. I don't bring work into this time. It belongs to peace. Before going to bed, I take a few moments to reflect. I write in a journal or just think quietly. What did I learn today? What made me smile? What challenged me? This habit helps me end the day with awareness and intention. It reminds me that I'm growing every day, even on the days when it feels slow. Then I sleep. And sleep is sacred to my routine. It's not a reward, it's a necessity. I respect my rest because I know it gives me the energy to begin again tomorrow. My bedtime is regular because I've learned that the quality of my tomorrow depends on the care I give myself tonight. Altogether, my routine is a personal path I've built with care. It isn't strict or rigid, it's flexible enough to handle life's surprises, but it gives me rhythm and stability. It's not about being perfect every day. There are days when I slip, when I feel tired or discouraged, or when I skip a part of my routine. But the beauty of routine is that it's always there waiting for me to return. Like a kind friend, it says, "Come back. Let's keep walking." More than anything, my routine helps me walk forward by keeping me rooted in the present while guiding me toward the future. It teaches me that progress isn't about giant leaps, it's about the small, steady steps I take every single day. When I look back, I see that it was not one big decision that changed my life, but thousands of little moments where I chose to stay on my path. Even in times of stress or sadness, my routine gives me something to hold on to. When the world feels chaotic, my routine becomes a safe space. When I feel lost, it gives me direction. It's my quiet strength built not from ambition, but from consistency. In a world that often celebrates speed and loud success, I find comfort in the quiet power of daily routines. They don't make headlines, but they make progress. They may not impress others, but they impress me because I know how much strength it takes to stay consistent, to keep going, and to believe in the long journey ahead. So yes, my routine is the path that helps me walk forward. It's not flashy, but it's real. It's not about being busy, but about being intentional. Step by step, day by day, my routine carries me closer to the person I want to become. And in that steady rhythm, I find peace, purpose, and quiet confidence. Every path we walk in life needs direction. Without a routine, I often feel like I'm wandering without a compass. But when I stay grounded in my daily habits, I feel stronger, more focused, and better prepared to face the world. My routine isn't just a list of things to do. It's the silent engine behind my progress, giving me strength, structure, and the gentle push I need to walk forward, especially on the days when I feel like standing still. Some people think routines are boring or restrictive. But to me, a well-chosen routine is a form of freedom. It gives me peace of mind, so I don't have to constantly worry about what to do next. I don't waste energy on indecision or chaos. Instead, I can use my energy to grow, create, and become better every day. In fact, it's the rhythm of my routine that gives me the freedom to move forward with confidence and direction. One of the biggest benefits of having a routine is how it supports my mental and emotional health. Life is full of ups and downs, but a consistent daily structure gives me a sense of stability. When I know that certain parts of my day are predictable and manageable, it reduces stress and anxiety. It creates space in my mind to think clearly, to reflect, and to rest. Even something as simple as having my morning coffee at the same time or taking a walk in the afternoon gives me a feeling of calm control. That sense of control is especially helpful when life gets hard. There are days when things don't go as planned, when I get bad news, when I feel overwhelmed, or when I don't have much motivation. But my routine acts like a rope I can hold onto during storms. I may not be able to control everything around me, but I can brush my teeth. I can get dressed. I can sit and breathe for a few minutes. These little acts matter. They remind me that I'm not powerless. They remind me to keep walking, even if the steps are small. Discipline is another quiet gift my routine gives me. Sticking to a routine is not always easy. There are times when I want to skip my work, avoid responsibilities, or stay in bed all day. But when I follow my routine, even when I don't feel like it, I grow stronger. I train myself to show up, even when the motivation is low. That discipline builds character. It teaches me that success doesn't come from waiting for the perfect moment. It comes from doing what needs to be done consistently. My routine also helps me build healthy habits. Habits don't form overnight. They grow from repeated actions, from choices made again and again. For example, when I added 10 minutes of reading to my evening routine, it felt like a small thing. But over time, those 10 minutes have added up to dozens of books read. When I began exercising for just 15 minutes a day, it seemed tiny. But now it's become a lifestyle that strengthens both my body and my mind. My routine helps me stack these good habits like bricks, building the foundation for a healthier, happier life. Another way my routine helps me walk forward is by saving time. When I stick to a regular pattern, I don't waste time deciding what to do next. I know when it's time to work, when it's time to rest, and when it's time to play. I don't rush as much because everything has its place. Time becomes a tool I can use wisely, instead of something I'm constantly chasing. But routines aren't just about time or tasks. They also give me space to grow spiritually and emotionally. In the quiet moments of my routine, like during morning journaling or evening reflection, I ask myself meaningful questions. Who am I becoming? What do I value? What can I improve? These moments are like spiritual checkpoints on my journey. They help me stay aligned with my purpose. They remind me that my life is not just about doing things, but becoming someone I'm proud of. Even my relationships benefit from routine. When I make it a habit to check in with family members or friends, those connections grow stronger. I've learned to make time, even just 5 minutes a day, to reach out to someone I care about. Routine reminds me not to take people for granted. It helps me nurture the bonds that support me through life. Of course, I allow flexibility within my routine. Life is not always predictable, and I don't try to force my routine to fit every single day. Instead, I treat it like a flexible guide. If something unexpected happens, I adjust. If I'm feeling unwell, I rest. If an opportunity comes up that takes me off the schedule, I go with it. The key is to return to the routine afterwards, to come back to the path. It's not about being perfect. It's about being persistent. My routine is also a way to measure progress. Sometimes, progress doesn't show up in big wins or dramatic changes. Sometimes, it's in the fact that I showed up every day this week. That I wrote a little more, exercised a little longer, or got a little better at staying calm in stressful moments. My routine helps me see these small victories. It teaches me to celebrate consistency, not just results. There's a special power in repetition. Doing something good over and over again builds confidence. It tells my brain, this is who I am. I am someone who keeps going. That identity is powerful. It keeps me walking forward even when progress feels slow. Because I know that if I keep walking, I'll get somewhere meaningful. My routine is not just helping me go through the days, it's helping me grow through them. I've also learned that routines can be customized to match different seasons of life. When I'm in a busy season, my routine helps me stay productive. When I'm in a quieter season, my routine becomes more about rest and reflection. I adapt it to what I need, but the core stays the same: consistency, care, and forward motion. In a way, my routine is like a quiet, personal coach. It doesn't shout or push. It just gently reminds me every day, you're on your path. Keep going. That quiet reminder is often exactly what I need. When I look back on my life so far, the times I've grown the most weren't always when things were exciting or dramatic. They were the times when I stuck with the small things, when I kept my routine, stayed disciplined, and made steady progress. That's when I truly moved forward. That's when I became stronger, wiser, and more resilient. So yes, my routine is the path that helps me walk forward. It may not look impressive from the outside, but it holds great power on the inside. It gives me the courage to face the day, the strength to keep moving, and the faith that every step, no matter how small, is carrying me toward a brighter future. And for that, I am deeply grateful. As the days pass and life moves forward, I've come to realize something deeply important. My routine is not just about daily habits, it's about building a meaningful life, one step at a time. There's a quiet magic in repetition. There's something healing in the process of waking up, doing my tasks, caring for myself, and showing up day after day. When I reflect on my journey, I see that every meaningful change began with a small routine. And now, I understand more than ever why my routine is the path that helps me walk forward. Each morning, my routine begins with clarity. I wake up and pause before checking my phone, before racing into the noise of the world. I take a breath and think about one simple question. How do I want to feel today? This question keeps me grounded. It helps me approach my day with intention, not just reaction. It's a gentle reminder that I'm not just here to survive the day, I'm here to grow in it. Then I move through my morning steps, washing up, drinking water, stretching, sometimes writing in my journal. These actions may seem small, but they are like seeds. Every time I do them, I'm planting something good in my life. I'm telling myself, you matter, your time matters, your direction matters. The beauty of routine is that it removes decision fatigue. Life can be overwhelming. With so many choices and distractions, it's easy to become mentally tired before the day even begins. But when I follow a routine, I don't waste energy deciding what to do next. I already know. That rhythm saves me time and helps me stay focused on what truly matters. My work time is structured around blocks. I choose specific times to concentrate deeply, with no distractions. These blocks of focused effort are part of my routine, and they help me get more done in less time. They also teach me something valuable, that discipline leads to freedom. Because I work with intention, I earn the freedom to enjoy the rest of my day without guilt or stress. But my routine is not only about productivity. It also holds space for joy and creativity. I've made it part of my daily life to spend time doing something that lights up my spirit. It might be sketching, playing music, taking photographs, writing stories, or simply walking in nature. This creative time is not extra, it's essential. It refreshes my mind, reconnects me with myself, and reminds me that life isn't just about tasks, but also about beauty. Another powerful part of my routine is gratitude. Every evening before I sleep, I list at least 3 things I'm grateful for. They don't have to be big: a kind word, a good meal, a moment of laughter. This habit has changed my outlook. It trains my mind to focus on what's good, even when days are hard. Gratitude transforms my perspective, turning ordinary moments into meaningful ones. My routine also supports my emotional growth. Within my day, I build in time to process how I feel. Whether through journaling, talking with a friend, or simply being silent, I give myself space to understand what's going on inside. Too often, we move through life without pausing to check in with our own hearts. But my routine reminds me to do that. It helps me stay emotionally healthy instead of waiting for a breakdown. Physical health is another key part of my routine. I've learned that moving my body is not just good for fitness, it's good for focus, confidence, and even creativity. Whether it's yoga, a short jog, or just stretching between tasks, this movement helps keep me energized and balanced. It's like giving my body a signal that I care, that I'm not just living in my head. Over time, my routine has become a quiet but powerful source of confidence. Every time I complete the small habits I've committed to, I build trust in myself. I learn that I can count on me. That trust is powerful. It spills into other areas of my life. It helps me set bigger goals, take bigger risks, and recover from setbacks because I know that my foundation is strong. One of the greatest lessons my routine has taught me is that progress is not always visible. Sometimes we do the right things again and again, and it feels like nothing is happening. But the truth is, something is happening. The change is just happening inside first. My patience grows, my mindset shifts, my focus strengthens. It's like a tree growing underground before it bursts through the soil. My routine is that hidden growth. Quiet, steady, real. Routines are also powerful because they create momentum. When I complete one good action, it motivates me to do another. When I eat a healthy breakfast, I'm more likely to choose a healthy lunch. When I write for 20 minutes, I often feel inspired to write more. This momentum builds over time and creates a snowball effect. What starts small becomes something big. There are moments when I question my path. I wonder if I'm moving fast enough, if I'm doing enough. But when I look at the rhythm of my routine, I find peace. I see that I am moving forward. Slowly, maybe. Quietly, but forward. And that's enough, because every step, no matter how small, is still progress. In a world that often glorifies hustle and burnout, my routine helps me stay connected to what's truly meaningful. It helps me live intentionally, not just productively. It gives me permission to rest, to breathe, to slow down when needed without guilt. I don't follow a routine to prove anything to anyone. I follow it because it helps me feel grounded, present, and alive. The most beautiful thing is that my routine evolves with me. As I grow, it grows. It changes to reflect my needs, my dreams, my energy. It's not a cage, it's a guide. When I need more rest, I adjust. When I feel inspired to try something new, I make space for it. This flexibility is part of what makes my routine sustainable and meaningful over time. Sometimes I look at the people I admire, those who have created beautiful lives, built meaningful work, or overcome great struggles. And almost always, I discover they didn't get there by accident. They had daily habits. They followed a routine. They showed up again and again, even when it was hard. Their success was not based on luck, it was built on the quiet discipline of routine. That truth gives me hope, because I, too, am building something. Quietly, steadily, one day at a time. In the end, I believe that how we spend our days is how we spend our lives. If my routine helps me spend my days with care, kindness, and intention, then it is shaping a life I can be proud of. It is the path I walk each day, not always fast, not always easy, but always forward. And that's why my routine is so much more than a checklist. It's my guide, my companion, my strength. It's the steady rhythm that helps me become who I'm meant to be. And as long as I keep walking, keep showing up, and keep trusting the process, I know I'm moving in the right direction.